We don't speak Latin yet, they call us Latinos. The true Latinos are Italians, Portuguese. They're real Latinos, French. Those are real Latino countries. But now, as you know, Mexico all the way down to South America, now we're considered Latin American countries. But because they're only thinking about 1492 after that. But before 1492, don't forget, the natives were here. The Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, the LATINOs. The people that welcomed the Europeans. Those were our ancestors. Yes. I just want to make sure people remember that, because the name of the group is Raíces. Raíces means roots. And what we're trying to focus and trying to teach and promote is roots, our roots. See, that's why we dress like this. That's why we play these instruments, because it's part of our roots. But these instruments did not come from Spain. They were here in America, way back thousands of years ago. The Incas, they played these instruments. They had orchestras with only sikus, which means bamboo. So you could imagine how awesome it must have sounded when it was only flutes and drum. It's really awesome. But you see, we just want to make things clear about Hispanic heritage. Yes, it's good to celebrate, but we need to know exactly who we are. Spanish, especially as Latinos. You know, I hear kids in the bus, they say, I'm not black, I'm not black, I'm Hispanic. So some Dominican kids, they don't want to be called black. They want to be called Hispanics or Latinos. You see, and that's wrong. Because Latino and Hispanic is not a race. See? So we need to understand who we are. We can call ourselves Latinos, Hispanics, and whatever. But the truth is, we are our ancestors. So whatever our ancestors were, that's what we are. You see? And that's why we want to always put up front and make sure people remember about your roots. A lot of people are born here, but their ancestors come from Europe. And they forget. They think they were here all along. And that's not right. Because the only people that were original from here were the Canarsie Indians. The Indians that used to live here in Manhattan and hunt. See, 300 years ago, there was full of Indians. And they were brown, the Indians. Remember that. Just like the brown people coming from Mexico and whatnot. So that's why it's really ironic that we get disrespect now, that we get prejudice, right? When we're really in our land. We never left it. We've been traveling America before it was called America. Your ancestors called it America 300 years ago. Our ancestors thousands of years ago called it Tahuantinsuyu, Tenochtitlan, different names for different places. So we just want to acknowledge that, because we are celebrating Hispanic and Latino heritage, but we just want to make sure you know where we're standing. We speak Spanish, but we're not from Spain. And we are very happy to be of native Inca descent, because that's really what we are. They can call us Spanish, Latinos, illegal aliens. They can call us whatever they want to call us. But you know the truth. And if you don't, go to the museum and you will find these. Museum of Natural History. And you will find the same exact flutes dating back over 10,000 years. So how does that make us the new immigrants? We've been here all along. But hey, we want to celebrate Hispanic and Latino culture by talking about this, making sure our brothers from Dominican, they're not afraid of claiming their African ancestry. Because you gotta understand, even Latin music, my brothers right here in the Record Mart, they sell the best Latin music, salsa, merengue, right? But it shouldn't be called Latin music, it should be called African music, not for nothing. Because it comes from Africa, right? Trust me, the Romans were not dancing salsa and merengue, right? They were not. But the Africans were dancing salsa thousands and thousands of years ago in Africa. And they brought that over to the islands of the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, Cuba. See, they brought that over from Africa. So I don't understand why it's called Latin music. It's got nothing to do with Latin. Latin is the language of the Romans. You gotta understand the words we speak. When you say you're Latino, you're saying you're Roman. And most of us, we're not Romans. And to all those brothers and sisters that claim to be Latinos, take out a dollar bill and you can see if you're a real Latino. In the dollar bill, there's Latin written around it. If you understand what that says, then you're Latino. If not, you're not Latino. On the green part by the pyramid, it says, Anuit, whatever, I can't even read it because I don't speak Latin. See, so if you think you're Latino, si se creen latinos, a ver, lean ahí lo que dice alrededor de la pirámide. No entienden, because no son latinos. Hablan español. So again, we just want to celebrate Latino and Hispanic culture by educating each other about this. You see, because people come up to us even today, they're like, hey, you guys Mexican or you're Indian? You see that? People don't understand that Mexicans are Indians. The word Mexico is a native word. The Aztecs called themselves the Mexica people. They called themselves Mexica way before Spain came here. But now that country, the meeting of Spain and Mexico became what today is modern Mexico. So we just want to remind you, brothers and sisters, my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters, Borican, Boricuas, that's a Taíno word. See, even Puerto Ricans, they have native blood. Dominicans, they have native blood. And there's a big movement over there of people getting into so much that they are being how do you say it? They're being baptized Indian. There's some communities in Dominican Republic that they don't want to be called Hispanics and Latinos, they want to be called Taínos. They want to be called Indios. Because they feel very, very strong about their culture. Even though there is not as strong as in Mexico and other countries, but you see, it's very important that we understand who we are. Because if we don't know who we are, we don't know where we're going. And when we give credit to a different thing, like what we call ourselves Spanish and Latino, we give credit to Spain. And we really don't have much from Spain. Just basically the language. Right? So just remember, when you see a brown brother that speaks Spanish from Mexico, or from Guatemala, or from Peru, or Ecuador, if they're brown, they're Indian. You know, they're the ones crossing the border being called wetbags and illegal aliens and getting a lot of bad treatment. And it's ironic because this country is made by immigrants that came from overseas. We cross a river, we have a hard time. They cross an ocean and it's okay. Right? And if you're white, and if you have no papers, the police don't stop you. But if you're like me, you can stop. Hey, he looks illegal. Let's check his papers. I got papers. Bamboo and easy wider. That's all the papers I need. So again, we're celebrating Hispanic and Latino culture by understanding what it really means. If we were playing flamenco, that's Spanish. See, that's different. But we're not doing that. We're playing that old music. But we're using this space to talk about this because we have to.